All right, welcome back, everybody. Here we go. It's the mock draft number 6. I'm gonna just jump right in here right away. We're back from holidays. We're ready to go. There was football yesterday, right? So let's do some mock drafts. On the screen, you're gonna see all the players who've already been kept twice. So these guys, as a reminder, cannot be kept this year, as they've already been kept twice. I don't want to have to reach out to you on the Monday morning. Guys, pay attention, please. Next up on the screen, the players who can't be kept due to trades last season. As a reminder, I announced last week that I made a trade with Dallas. So, what's his name there? James Cook III is off the list. So again, Devonta Smith is still out there. Olave, Brian Thomas Jr., and Burrow cannot be kept. Speaking of the trade, I sent out the email this week showing that Dallas and I flip picks in rounds 1, 4, and 7. So I move up in 1 and 7. He moves up in 4. And then he gets James Cook as a keeper in the 3rd. So as I mentioned, he had no value to me as a keeper. So why not try to move up in round 1 with having no 3rd round pick myself, right? So maybe gets me a better receiver. Maybe that's what I'm hoping for. Maybe I'm hoping for a running back. It's hard to do these and not give away too many secrets. But yeah, that's about it there. I did change up the keepers this week, or this time. I'm going to leave Wayne with some keepers. I am going to nudge him, bug him, see if I can get him to do it. It's on the app now. It's different than I showed last time already. Yahoo updated the app. So I think it's just on the home screen when you first go into the league. It'll show it there. So yeah, for keepers, I blanked. So then the other keeper I changed was the Buddies. No, it is not the Buddies. It was Ty. I gave him Malik Neighbors in the 2nd round, along with Colson Loveland in 9. Everything out of camp looks really good with Neighbors. If he's healthy, why not keep him? And then he also has him for next year, right? So we're going to be 100% hopefully for after a whole year. It could be a great pick for next year instead of a potential guy who would have been a 1st round pick maybe, depending on keepers next year, if he's healthy, right? So that's all for that, which means, as usual, you will see the Sleeper app to show the draft picks. It makes it nice and easy for me to manually enter them in. For the the players is still the fantasy footballers. And my list is the Fantasy Pros. It's about top 125-ish consensus overall ranking, about like 90-some people's ranking. So it's a good kind of middle of the ground for picking here. I know we all have different tastes in players and who we like. And then when you add in the keepers in there, right, when people keep a couple of running backs or receivers, right, you're thinking they might be going running back. So it kind of changes the board, which is what I really like. So with all that said, let's just jump right in and draft. Okay, so first up as usual is Dave. I've bounced around here giving him running back and receiver multiple times. I think for him the best strategy is to go receiver. I keep saying, I'm sorry. The running backs that are available in the 2nd and 3rd round, I think, are really good. Sorry. And it's just a better strategy. He's got guys that are middle of the road there as each year or each time I've done it. It's been Derrick Henry, Jeremiah Love, Hall, Kyron, Jacobs, right? He could go either way. So I think for him, taking another receiver here with Pickens and Burden gives him a good stacked start. And then in rounds 2 and 3, he can go running back. And then without a 4th round pick with Pickens there, and then the 5th round, he can look and see what his options are. I think last time I gave him Burrow to go with Chase since he was there, which I thought was a smart play. Or maybe he's looking at the board and there's a running back or something he likes there. So I am going to continue to give him Jamar Chase. Next up, we have Jen. Again, another one here I like with Rashee Rice and Montgomery as their keepers. I think the receiver, no, I do think the running back is the better play. I was going to go Puka again to her, but I think the running back for her, right? With Montgomery, is probably a typical running back 2 every week. Obviously there'll be weeks where he could be a running back 1. Rashee Rice as a 4th round keeper is a really great spot for him. he's projected to be a top 20 player on the year, right? So, yeah, I am going to give her Jahmyr Gibbs, just because he is the top running back there on the board, or at least on my list. I don't know about yours. Next up, we have Richard. Richard had Bashal Tootin and Christian Watson as keepers. I'm still keeping those for now. I might change it up here again, but we'll see. But for now, I like those two for him. I think, again, last year with being away, he got burned with not really having good running backs. And I think it really hurt him overall. So I think kind of, I don't want to say learning his lesson from having to be on auto draft, but I think based on the way this year is, there's lots of good receivers out there. Watson could be a receiver one every week. Tootin's probably that borderline guy. So why not get, in my opinion, the next best player on the board, and that would be Bijan Robinson. I was telling Dallas last night that if I didn't make the trade with him, I was thinking about keeping him at the end of the first round. But we made the trade, so I don't have to worry about it now. But it was something I was thinking about. Next up, we have Wayne. So Wayne, I am giving him keepers, Waddle and Tucker. Tucker Kraft. I think having a tight end there in the 8th round is a good spot for Tucker Kraft. He's probably a top 5-6 rounder anyway, so it's a great value. And Jalen Waddle, nothing against the rest of Wayne's team in the first couple rounds, but they're not really players you'd want to keep for their value. So I think Waddle, the hype coming out of Denver, has been big for him, so I think it is a decent keeper. So to add to that, I think the best player for him is Puka Nacua. Gives him, I think, 2 strong receivers and a tight end, and then just like Dave, he can capitalize for those running backs there that are rounds 2-3 guys for our league, and see how it plays out. Next up, we have the buddies. So the buddies, I still have keeping Tyrell McMillan and Caleb Williams. So for them, we can draft guys like McCaffrey, Taylor. I think Genty's a little too far. Receivers, we'll look at Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb, Jefferson, Drake London, AJ Brown, Nico Collins. I almost said Drake Brown because they're beside each other. Tedero and Caleb. I think he's also a guy who might wait on running back. I think having guys like Amon-Ra, CD, and Jefferson available are really valuable receivers. I think all 3 of them could finish as the number 2-3 receiver every week. I mean, maybe not CD as much because Pickens is there, but still, he could be tops. I just don't see him going McCaffrey, and I say that every time, but he could always surprise, or they could always surprise us. I think just to change it up, I am going to give him Christian McCaffrey. I would give him a running back, I think either way, him or Taylor, but I think given just the way the year is going, maybe he's healthy-ish going into the year. The receivers are, ho-hum now with Pierce all out for the year. Who knows? I know they brought Debo back, but, he's getting old too. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Okay, next up we have Ty. Ty now have keeping Malik Neighbors and Colston Loveland. I was going to go receiver for him. I think I still might, but then you'd have to wait all the way to the 3rd round for his next pick. So that pushes his running backs quite far down the list, right? He might at that point be down to like a Bucky Irving, DeAndre Swift, Jadarian Price kind of level, which is pretty far down there. Or if he just takes a running back here, he's probably looking at receivers like Wilson, Higgins, McConkey, McLaurin. Ooh, I think I like that better for him. Take the running back now, have Neighbors, and then get a pretty solid receiver too. He has no keepers in 4 and 5. He could get a decent second running back in there for sure. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I am going to give him Jonathan Taylor. Okay, next up, we have myself. This is my new pick here at pick number 7. I didn't expect to go running back heavy. I haven't really done that in a while. For the draft picks so far, not for myself. So my picks, or my keepers, as a reminder, are Ibuka and Cam Skattebo, or Skattebo. I kind of like the idea before of going running back here. If Taylor fell to me, I don't know if I'd go McCaffrey, but if Taylor fell to me, I would take him for sure. I really like Jefferson and Amon-Ra this year. I mean, if Amon-Ra's gone, I probably would take Jefferson over Lamb here. But since he's there, I'm going to go Amon-Ra, St. Brown. Nope. Perfect. Okay, next up we have Rob. Rob is keeping Javonte Williams and Quinshon Judkins, 2 running backs. So he'll probably go receiver here unless he really likes, Genty or Brown. But I think going receiver is probably the better spot. Now, does he go Lamb or does he go Jefferson? I think he's going to go Jefferson. I think having a better receiver in Pickens over in Addison, as an example, I think Jefferson will definitely shine more with Kyler Murray, but we'll see. Maybe he won't. Next up, we have Sunil. Sunil, I also have keeping 2 running backs. This is Travion Henderson and Travis Etienne. So here we can go probably receiver if he wants. I think they're both good running backs, but if he wants like an alpha running back, which I know I've done for him here a few times, as a Genty or Brown, but I mean, Lamb is ranked so much higher, not so much, like 6-7 spots on this list at least. Maybe on the one your screen, maybe it's 2 or 3, I don't know. I don't know if he would take London over Lamb, but I keep liking the idea of him going heavy running back. I think that suits Sunil's strategy better. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. I'm going to give him Ashton Genty. Okay, next up we have Jeremy. Jeremy, we have keeping JSN as well as Brock Bowers in the 9th round. JSN is in the 2nd round. So that means after this pick, he won't have a pick until the 3rd. So he's in the same spot that Ty was in, except he's got a later 3rd round pick, right? So he's probably still looking at that Bucky Irving, DeAndre Swift, Jalen Warren, Jadarian Price kind of range. In the 3rd round, if he wants to take a receiver, which with CeeDee Lamb, Drake London, he might want to do. Because Chase Brown seems like a bit of a reach here, but he might not be. It depends on what your thoughts are. Maybe he likes Achane. Maybe he likes Hampton as well. I think this is the first time I've had CeeDee Lamb fall. I think for Jeremy's sake, with having JSN in the next round, I think CeeDee Lamb is a hard keep if he really likes the running back position. So I'm going to do it. I am going to give him Chase Brown. Wow. Didn't expect that. Okay. Next up, we have Dallas. Dallas, as a reminder, is keeping James Cook III in the 3rd round and Alex Pierce in the 16th round. I think Dallas is the type of guy, having this guy fall, he's not going to jump to Achane. Like, he could probably get him in the next round. He could get Hampton, Barkley next round. Like, why reach on these guys now? Seeing how far he fell, I'm going to give Dallas CeeDee Lamb. Okay, next up we have Tom. Tom is keeping Zay Flowers and Tyler Warren. So Flowers is in the 4th and Tyler Warren's in the 7th. So he gets back-to-back picks here, and then doesn't have a pick until the end of the 5th round. So with Zay Flowers and Warren, that's a pretty good receiver 1, tight end, top 5 every week, right? And then I think it's a bit of a stretch to just go all the way to Hampton and Achan. I think he's got to at least take one receiver here. I mean, there's 3 good ones, right? In London, Brown, and Collins. Like I said, without having a pick there in the 3rd, I think he's got to at least take one running back. So I'm going to draft him A.J. Brown in the 1st round, followed by, I'm going to give him Hampton. I think he's going to take Hampton over Achan. And give Tom, Devon, Omarion, Hampton. Okay, so that would leave Tom with A.J. Brown, Omarion, Hampton, Zay Flowers, Tyler Warren, and then no pick until 5. I like that. I think that's a pretty good strategy for him. Yeah, because that's really could be 2 top receivers, a top running back. Yeah, I like it. I think that's good for Tom right there. Which could mean he could return as champ. We'll see. Next up is my pick of the 2nd round. I drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 1st and keeping Abuka and Scatabo. I'm not a big Achan fan or a Barkley fan. I'm not a big Kenneth Walker fan. I mean, I'd take them if I was later 2nd round. I just don't want to take them in the early 2nd round. So I think what I'm going to do, I don't want Trey McBride. I'm not fully trusting Arizona. And I don't want a quarterback here. I don't think that suits my strategies very well. Both Collins and Lennon worry me. They really do. I'm just not a fan of Tua or Penix for London. He is the main guy. Nico would be good. I just don't know how it'll go this year. Everybody's on that train. Chris Olave, I think, is too far down the list. Same with Devonta. You know what? I haven't done this in a draft. I still have a picks in 4 and 5. So why not do it for fun? I'm going to take, I didn't think I'd do it, Trey McBride. Okay. Next up would have been Jeremy with keeping JSN. So we brings us back to Sunil. Sunil has 3 running backs in Ashton Genty, Travion Henderson, Travis Etienne. I know Kamara just re-signed, but I still think Etienne's going to get the ball a ton. So I think I got to give Sunil the receiver. I am going to give him Drake London. Okay, next up we have Rob. Rob drafted Justin Jefferson and then capped Javonte Williams and Quinton Judkins. So he's in a really good spot. He can really go any direction he wants here. We still have 2 receivers that are really good here in Collins, Olave, plus Devonta, Garrett Wilson. Running backs, if he wants to go another running back, we've got Achan and Barkley. I don't think he'd go Josh Allen. He's never really been an early quarterback guy in our league. I think I will go receiver, though. I don't know the difference on your guys' list that you see, but for me, it's Nico is at 13 and Olave is at 22. And I honestly don't think there's that much of a difference overall, personally, just my opinion. But I don't think he would go another running back here. I mean, he might if he likes Achan. I mean, again, he's a 21 on my board. I don't know what you guys see and what your thoughts are. Some people have him higher, but Miami's worrisome. I'm going to give him Nico Collins. Okay, we are up back to Dallas. So Dallas's pick in the last round was CeeDee Lamb. Plus he kept James Cook and Alec Pierce. So given the board here, he can go really any direction. If he likes Josh Allen, which I don't know if he's an early quarterback guy. He hasn't really said. He might have gone Trey McBride here if he was still there. But now with the running backs and receivers, I mean, there's H.M. Barkley, Walker III, Derrick Henry. There's a bit of a drop. And then there's Olave, Devonta Smith, Garrett Wilson, Higgins, Ladd McConkey, which I think are all a bit of a stretch. He said to me before once he wasn't an Olave guy, so I don't think he would go that direction. I think he's going to go running back. And I think based on the three guys I see, I think Kenneth Walker III seems to be more his style. I could be wrong. I don't see him taking old man Barkley. Old man, right? He's like, what, probably 28, 29. And then H.N. I don't think is his guy. So I think Walker would be the next best running back in his mind. Again, I could be wrong, but that's just my thoughts. Okay, next up we have the buddies, Jay and Adam. Last time I had them taking Christian McCaffrey. Their keepers are Tadaro McMillan, Caleb Williams. Given the board here, it's pretty even on my board, right? It's the same guys I keep talking about, H.M. Barkley, then a bit of a drop to Henry. Then it's Olave, Devonta, Garrett Wilson, Higgins, and Josh Allen as a quarterback. Maybe Lamar's in that range as well. I don't see them going quarterback with having one already, right, with Caleb Williams. I don't see them going tight end. It seems a little early with not having one as a keeper. So it wouldn't be Harold Fana, which is way down the list. So I could see them going receiver because they're coming around the next way right away. Well, right away is in like 8, 9 picks. You know, there's going to be a couple running backs taken for sure. Right, they know there's going to be running backs taken for sure. You got to figure Wayne's taken one, Dave's maybe taken 2, probably 2, Jen maybe 1. So I'm going to give them, I can see them taking Saquon Barkley. The Eagles are better than the Dolphins, so take the guy in the better offense and take Saquon Barkley. Okay, next up will be Wayne. Wayne, we have draft Puka Nacua. He has kept Waddle and Tucker Kraft, so I definitely see him going running back. I think there's definitely a bit of a drop here, so I definitely think this is where HN will go to Wayne, because Henry's a bit of a drop, so right? So this is kind of the end of the tier, and to me that would give Wayne a pretty solid start. 2 good receivers, potentially top 10, top 12 running back every week, and a top probably 5 tight end every week with Tucker Kraft. Next up, we have Richard. Richard has Bashal Tutin and Watson as keepers, drafted Bijan Robinson last round. He's got lots of draft picks in the 3rd round. So as I say, this is where he can go any direction as always. I don't see him taking Allen yet because I don't see Jen or Dave going quarterback. So if he wants Allen, he could take him on his next pick. I think with having the 2 running backs, he definitely has to go receiver. Does he like Olave or Devonta better? See, again, to me, you got to go with the better offense. And to me, the better offense is Philadelphia over New Orleans. In my ranking, they're 22 and 23, so they're back-to-back. So why not take the guy on the better offense, right? Hopefully, that's what the Eagles are supposed to be. So I'm going to give Richard, Devonta Smith. Okay, next up we have Jen. Jen took Gibbs in the first round and has Rashee Rice and David Montgomery as her other keepers. I think this is a spot where she'll go receiver for, well, maybe not for sure, because she could maybe think to wait if she wants running back. But I think Henry, Love, Hall, if she likes at least one of them, then she can wait. Or if she likes Kyron, right, or Jacobs, she can just wait until the turn next time. So I'm going to give her a receiver. I think Olave is better than Wilson or Higgins or McConkey. So I will give her Chris Olave. Okay, next up we have Dave. Dave is picking on the 2-3 turn. As I keep saying, I think he's going to go running back. I think I'm going to end up giving him the same two guys last time. Keep it simple and give him Derrick Henry in the second because he's a little bit older. And then give him Jeremiah Love, the rookie, in the third round. Should be a top running back. Plus, it's a decent keeper value for next year in the third round. So, yeah, I'm going to do that. Next up, we have Jen again. So, let's see what we got here. We got Breece Hall, Kyron Williams, Josh Jacobs are all kind of bing bang. She would have Gibbs and Montgomery along with one of those guys. She has no pick then until the 6th round. So she could really solidify her running back core with having two pretty solid receivers in Olave and Rice. I think that's what I'm going to do, but I am going to change it up. I've given her Kyron before. I've given her Breece before. I've given her Jacobs before. And now I'm going to give her Kyron Williams. Messed it up. Jeez. Anyway, next up is Richard. Richard has Bijan and Devonta Smith along with Bashal Tutin, Christian Watson. I'm going to give him another receiver. I think receivers here are a little bit better than the running back core that's there in Hall, Jacobs, and then a little bit of a drop to Bucky, and DeAndre Swift, Jalen Warren kind of guys. I think if he is thinking quarterback, he can wait. If he likes Lamar, Drake, London, Josh Allen, either one of them could be available next pick. I think Josh Allen was the only one taken in the third round last year, so there's a chance that he could still be there. So I think with all that said, I am going to give him a receiver. Which one? I'm going to give him Garrett Wilson. He's a really solid receiver. He's got Geno chucking him the ball. Right, it's Geno. So yeah, next up is Wayne. Just move it on. I'm not even going to talk about the Jets. Move it on to Wayne. So Wayne have Puka Nacua, Javon Achan, along with Jalen Waddle, Tucker Kraft. I think it's a good spot for him to go another running back that will really solidify his team. Right, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, tight end, no pick in the 4th, comes back in 5. He can go with what the best player available is for him. I think that's a smart move. But does he go Higgins or Ladd? I think the smarter one is Ladd, just because he could be the main guy. I mean, I know the Cooch is good and he could be there as well. But why not take the number 1 receiver on the team instead of the number 2 receiver on our team, right? Okay, so where are we? Okay, next up we have the Buddies. The Buddies have Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Tedro McMillan, which they're keeping in the 4th round, and then Caleb Williams. So they have no pick now to the 5th after this one. They need to go receiver. And I know he said he's the number 2 on his team, but he still puts up lots of fantasy points. I am going to give him T. Higgins. I do think this is a bit of a drop down to the next guys: McLaurin, Adams, Evans, DJ Moore, Jameson Williams. I think it's quite a bit of a drop down. Like, to me, those are more, a little bit later at the round kind of picks. Oh, just my opinion. Next up, we're back to Ty. Ty has Jonathan Taylor, Malik Neighbors, and well as Colston Loveland. To me, I think if he can get a running back here, he has a 4th round and a 5th round pick. This will solidify him in there very nicely with a good solid running back core, potentially top tight end and top receiver every week. Yeah, I'm going to give him Josh Jacobs. I think he's a little bit better than Breece Hall. I think Green Bay is going to be better than the Jets. And then, like I said before, the receivers are kind of now where I'm thinking they're going to come into play here at kind of the end of this round. So I think there is that teardrop there. I think Breece Hall could go in the next couple of picks here, but I just think having that little bit better Packers over the Jets, he'll go Jacobs. Next up would have been Dallas, but he's keeping James Cook the third. And we are at Rob. So as I said before, Rob is keeping Javonte Williams, Quinshon Judkins, drafted Justin Jefferson, Nico Collins. He does have a 4th and 5th round pick, so he does have options here to go best player available. If he likes the quarterback, like I said, Josh Allen is there. The tight ends, I think, are dropping now to about the 5th round, maybe. Does he solidify a running back core here, take kind of that last of the tier and go Breece Hall? Or does he take a receiver? I think if he likes these guys, McLaurin, Adams, Evans more, to my mind, they're all about the same. If he wants to wait and try to look for them in the next round, it wouldn't be a bad play. So, as a result, I'm going to give Rob Breece Hall. That gives him a good solid running back core. With our league, with the 3 flex positions, right? You want guys who are going to guarantee you over 10 points a week in those spots every week. Breece Hall could do that if he already has Javonte and Quinshon Judkins as keepers. So yeah, I think it's a smart move to put Breece Hall in there. Next up would be Sunil. Sunil has Genty and Drake London, who he drafted, along with keeping Travion and Travis Etienne, or Etienne, or whatever he's going by. I mean, it's I was just looking at Sunil's guys he can't keep, and he had Terry McLaurin. I don't know if he would take Terry McLaurin here. He had him as a 4th round keeper before. I know Diggs is there. I mean, it'll chew away at it a bit, but I think Terry, actually being at camp all year or all preseason is going to help him a lot more than Diggs. I think as a drop to with the next running backs, and I don't think he would take another running back. I don't think he's going to go quarterback with having this many running backs on his team. I'm going to give him... See, I think McLaurin's kind of the top of the tier. Adams is the middle, and then Evans and Moore are kind of the bottom of the same tier, which is why I'm struggling with this pick for him. I can see him not wanting to take McLaurin again for having him for a couple years in a row, so I'm going to give him Devonta Adams. Okay, next up we have Jeremy. Jeremy kept Jackson Smith and Jigba and Brock Bowers, 2 top players at their position. Drafted Chase Brown in the 1st round, who's probably a running back 1 every week. As long as everybody on the team else was healthy, he was really good last year. I think he can go receiver if he'd like, if he wants to take Terry McLaurin. I don't see him going quarterback. He's never been really an early quarterback guy. I think that, like I said before, Evans and DJ Moore are the next tier down. Same with Bucky. I think Bucky and DeAndre Smith would be kind of in this range because of our keeper situation, but I don't know if I would see Jeremy taking them here. He could wait until probably the next round to take either one of those guys. I don't see Richard taking them. Maybe he might take one of them. And I don't see Dallas taking, well, maybe. I can see Dallas taking one of them based on now who he has, right? He'd have Kenneth Walker, James Cook, CeeDee Lamb, Alec Pierce. I think he would probably take the best of who he thought there, unless he just wants to wait. Who knows? So let's go back to Jeremy here. Jeremy, I think I got to give him Terry McLaurin. I think that would give him, a receiver who's probably a top 15 every week, as long as Daniels is, not injured. And then JSN should be top 3, 4 every week. Bowers top 2 every week in his position. So I think that's a good start. Okay, next up, Richard to finish off the round. So he gets 2 picks in a row to end the 3rd round based on trades with me and Tom. Okay, I do think he will take a quarterback with one of these picks. I think that way it just gives him a bit of a jump. He picks at the end of round 4, and then he doesn't have a 5th round pick. So I think if he could snag a quarterback here, then at least Dallas, Jeremy, Rob, myself, Ty before his next pick. And I'm pretty sure at least one person would take a quarterback out of that group, being the 4th round. So if he took Josh Allen here, that would definitely give him a heads up or a leg up on that to go along with having like Bijan, who's probably the top running back. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put him in this spot. I'm not sure who he's going to take yet for his next pick, so I'm going to buy myself some time and give him Josh Allen. So what he's got here is he's got Devonta Smith, Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson. So 3 solid receivers. All 3 interchangeably with at least a receiver 1, receiver 2 every week. Bashal Tune's probably top 15, top 20 every week. At worst, Bijan will be top 4 or 5 every week unless he doesn't get a touchdown, right? I don't know if he likes either Bucky or DeAndre. He could wait and see if somebody falls to him in the 4th round and just take one of those guys as his next running back. I do think receivers are more valuable in our league than running backs, just based on still being full PPR, which I would like to change one of these days, by the way, to half PPR. Anyway, with that said, I'm going to give him the younger receiver and give him, I don't know if he's younger. I think he's younger than Mike Evans. I don't know. DJ Moore. I think being on Buffalo and Josh Allen, right, he can have a nice fun stack there if he wants, and just see how it plays out. Why not, right? Okay, next up would have been Tom, but he's keeping Zay Flowers, which brings us to Dallas. Let's recap what Dallas has. So Dallas has CeeDee Lamb, Kenneth Walker III, keeping James Cook, and Alec Pierce. So he has 2 running backs, 2 receivers. Yeah, 2 running backs, 2 receivers. I know he had a Dunze last year, but he was hurt and felt probably kind of burned by it. Mike Evans with no Pearsall now is probably a decent spot at number 51, but I don't know. Right? They got that new young guy plus Debo. Jameson Williams feels like a stretch. He doesn't ever feel like an early quarterback guy to me. I think the better running back out of the 2 is probably DeAndre Swift, but Nungai's there. Bucky Irving's pretty good, but I don't know. I'm going to give him, I think, the running back. And that'll just give him a decent foundation. Comes back in 5, a good spot for another receiver. I think that's what I'll do. I'll give him Bucky Irving. Okay, next up is Jeremy. Jeremy is Chase Brown and Jigba, Terry McLaurin, and Brock Bowers. I don't see him going quarterback. He's never, like I said, he's another guy who's not early quarterback. I think he's only got the 1 running back, but he's got a high-powered tight end. I think there is a bit of a teardrop here from DeAndre Swift down to the next couple guys. Well, I do think the receivers are probably better overall in terms of points in Evans, Williams, Odunze, Tate, Harrison, Jr. I don't think waiting on running back could be good here for Jeremy, just because he doesn't have one with having the tight end. So I am going to give him DeAndre Swift. Okay, next up would have been Sunil, but he's got Travion Henderson as a keeper, which brings us back to Rob. So as a recap, Rob has Jefferson, Nico Collins, Breece Hall, Javonte Williams, and Quinshon Judkins. So he's fine at running back, so he doesn't have to worry there. There's a bunch of keepers coming up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, before his next pick. So if he really likes to wait on quarterback, I think that might be the smart play. Maybe 1 or 2 go between now and his pick. So I think if he wants the better positional player, now's the time. I'm going to give him the better one on my board. It might not be the better one on your board, but it's Mike Evans. Okay, next up we have, myself. So I got Amon-Ra, Trey McBride. Ooh, that's weird. I forgot about that. Ibuka and Cam Scatabo. So I definitely probably would have wanted a running back here. I don't know. Like, to me, it's Jalen Warren, Jadarian Price. Okay, let's me plan this out. With these keepers in there, we got Ty. Who does Ty got? Ty has Jonathan Taylor, Neighbors, Jacobs, and Colson Loveland. So he could go running back and take Jadarian Price on me, or Warren, Hubbard, Stevenson. Richard, I think, would probably go... I don't know. I'd have to really sift and go through his team. But I think he could take a running back here as well. And then go quarterback. Oh, but he has a quarterback, so I don't have to worry about it. I don't think he'd go... So I think there's a good chance that either one of them could take Jadarian Price as a rookie running back. And I think given the bat that I went tight end last time, I can't hope that Scatabo is going to be healthy from the start and good all year. But that's what I'd be doing anyway, because Price, who knows? Whew. Okay, so this is, to me, tells me I really got to hope that running backs fall to me in the first round and take a running back potentially. Or depending, not take a running or tight end at round 2 and take, because McBride could be better than running backs. See, this is my mock draft. All right, I'm going to go Jadarian Price. I'm going to take the rookie because it's fun. 4th round keeper. Might be a good spot. So I'm going to take Jadarian Price. Next up is Ty. Who do we got again for Ty? I just said Jonathan Taylor, Malik Neighbors, Josh Jacobs, and Colson Loveland. I think he will go receiver. This will really just solidify his team nice and strong. Right? Top receiver, top tight end, some pretty good running backs, another good receiver. I think this is a good spot for Mr. Jameson Williams. Okay. Sorry I don't always list the players who are on my board, but I figure they're probably pretty similar to who you see, and I don't know what side it is. So I don't always want to waste time running down the list, trying to quicken up these drafts. So, so sorry if I don't do that all the time. Okay, so then next up would have been the Buddies, but they are keeping Tedrow McMillan. Then next up after that would have been Wayne, but he's keeping Jalen Waddle. So it brings us back to Richard. So this is Richard's last pick till the 6th round, which would be the end of the 6th round. So he's got a big wait here. And then he has no 7th. So let's see, he's got Bijan Robinson, Devonta Smith, Garrett Wilson, Bayshall, Tootin, Watson. So he's got 3 receivers, 2 running backs. That's why I think he would have gone Price if he was there. Because he's a Seattle guy too, right? He's already got a quarterback. See, he could have possibly waited if he really... But I think Allen would have been gone. But I like the stack there for him. I think I'm going to give him a receiver. Just because he has a good, strong running back in Bijan Robinson. I think he can get some good value in running backs probably in the 6th round. Just looking at some names further down the list, which wouldn't be on your screen anyway, that you could look at, right? Maybe like a Pollard, Dowdle, Stevenson, RJ Harvey, Kenneth Gainwell, Monangai kind of time there in the 6th round. Which would be a good spot in there. I mean, any of those good guys could jump into a number 1 role at any time, depending on injuries. I don't think he would go tight end here. It seems a little early. I mean, Harold Fannin Jr. maybe not early, but I could see Fannin definitely going this in round 5 here. Just because he doesn't pick till the 6th round, I think he's going to kind of take the end. To me, they're a little bit of the same tier in the Rome Odunze, Carnell Tate, Marvin Harrison stretch. So I'm going to give him the rookie, just in case he turns out to be fantastic, and give him Carnell Tate as a pick in the 4th round. Okay, next up would have been Jen, but she has Rashee Rice as a keeper, followed by Dave, who has George Pickens as a keeper, which brings us back to Dave in round 5. So the big difference in this draft compared to the others is I haven't drafted any extra quarterbacks other than the one. Because last time Joe Burrow was the best guy on the board, which is why I paired him up with Jamar Chase. Now, I don't think Burrow would fall all the way back around to this end of the 6th round. I could see the buddies maybe take him if, say, in these 2 picks, like Lamar, Drake may go in the next couple picks. He could go Burrow, pair with Higgins. But I don't know if Dave would go Lamar. Because you'd have Henry, Love, Chase, Pickens, Burden. Fannin would be a bit of a stretch. I do think he'll go in this round. Odunze, I think, will go in this round. Harrison Jr. goes in this round. I do think probably Lamar, Drake may go in this round. It just depends on who he likes here. I mean, he's pretty solid for receivers with Chase, Pickens, Burden. Henry and Love is solid foundation every week at running back. So I don't think he's going to worry about these running backs. He can take whatever's there in the 6th round. He's probably better off. The question is he like guys like Odunze, Harrison Jr. over somebody like Lamar and Drake May? I don't think so. He had Drake May as a keeper last year as a late round keeper, but I don't know what his thoughts are. It's a bit of a drop from Lamar. And then he would have Lamar and Derrick Henry, and he pretty much guarantees himself every rushing touchdown for Baltimore. So let's do that. Let's pair him up with Dave and give him Derrick Henry along with Lamar Jackson. Okay, next up we have Jen, but she is keeping David Montgomery. So that brings us back to myself with my early pick that used to be Richards. So as a reminder, I have Amon-Ra St. Brown, Trey McBride. And then last round, I drafted Jadarian Price. And then I kept Abuka later in this round and Scatabo. So I have 2 running backs, 2 receivers. No, I have 3 running backs. No, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and a tight end. I don't want to go early quarterback. I've been saying that all year. Because to me, pretty much everybody other than maybe Burrow and May and beyond are all the same. So why not wait? I don't really want either of Harrison Jr. or Thomas Jr. or Parker Washington, DK Metcalf, or Godwin. I do like Roma Dunze. If I didn't have Trey McBride, I would probably just go Fannin. But I already have a tight end. So this is definitely reassuring to me that I don't need to draft Trey McBride. Because I'd rather wait on some of these tight ends, but we'll see. Trey McBride, Amon-Ra, Jadarian Price, Scatterbo, Abuka. Amon-Ra, Abuka, Scatterbo, Price, Drake, and Trey McBride. I do have a 6th round pick. It's an early 6th round pick. So I do kind of like some of those running backs that are in that area. So I might wait on running back. I guess I'll just go Roma Dunze. It's not really who I like. It's not flashy. I mean, I like him, but I would rather have him in the 6th round. But what the heck? I'll take Roma Dunze. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm going to try and get this done here in the next few minutes. So sorry if I rush through it. Wayne is up. So Wayne has Waddle as a keeper from 4th round, along with Tucker Kraft. And then has drafted Puka Nacua, HN, and Lad McConkey. He's got a full, solid team. I think, though, given kind of he's looking at those running backs, but I think it's not really worth it, really. I think he could wait till, maybe not wait till next round. So, Wayne, who did I say? Puka, HN, McConkey, Waddle, Kraft. So he shouldn't go quarterback because he should wait at least another round or so and get at least another player. If he doesn't like Warren, Hubbard, Ramondre, Pollard, Dowdle. Receivers is Marvin Harrison Jr., Brian Thomas Jr., Parker Washington. You can tell I'm getting tired. I'm gonna give Wayne the hero RB strategy and give him Marvin Harrison Jr. Okay, next up we have the buddies. The buddies of McCaffrey, Barkley, Higgins, Tedero McMillan, and Caleb Williams. I think for them, they got 2 of each. See, so who's their guys again? So McCaffrey is risky, Barkley is risky, Higgins is good, Tedero is good. I could see them go Drake May. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give them Drake May. I don't know why. I don't see them going to next tier in running backs here yet. And then a little bit drop in receiver. I think they might wait it out. Because to me, I think it's a huge group of guys. Thomas Jr., Washington Metcalf, Godwin Jr., Pittman Jr., Sutton, Wilson, Jordan Tyson. Right? To me, they're all relatively the same. Yeah. So I think, they'll go quarterback. So now we're off to Ty. So Ty has Jonathan Taylor, Malik Neighbors, Josh Jacobs, Jameson Williams, and Colston Loveland. So Ty's the sneaky guy here. And I think he could take another tight end, but I don't think he'll do it. I think he'll go receiver. But I think he'll void the Jacksonville and go DK Metcalf. Still number 1 receiver on his team. We'll see how it goes. Next up is Dallas. So Dallas has Bucky Irving, along with James Cook, along with Kenneth Walker, CeeDee Lamb, and Alex Pierce. I could see him go quarterback here, or possibly tight end. I do think Fannin and Pitts are kind of the end of the line here for anybody who could go in the 5th. And then that drop to Laporta, Kelsey, I think you're looking at maybe around the 7th round, in my opinion. But who knows? You guys might think different. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give him Joe Burrow. Okay, next up we have Rob. So Rob had 2 running backs keepers in Javonte and Quinshon Judkins, and then drafted Jefferson, Nico, Breece Hall, and Mike Evans. So he's pretty stacked either way. So it just depends. Does he like the receiver? I don't think he needs to go receiver here. With coming around the corner, just like I said, these guys are all the same. Why not take the last of that end of the tiers for tight ends? I think that's what you'll do. You take Harold Fannin Jr., get him in there. Okay, next up is Sunil. Sunil has Ashton Genty, Drake London, Devonta Adams, kept Travion Henderson, and kept Travis Etienne. So he has 3 running backs, 2 receivers. I don't think he'll go running back. I don't think he'll go quarterback. Oh, he might. No, he won't. I was going to say, I thought he had Terry McLaurin. I just said he had Devonta Adams. Oh, did I even look at the right team? Oh, yeah, he's got Genty, Drake London, Devonta Adams, Travion. Let's see. I'm going to give him the player I like a little better, and that is Parker Washington. Okay, next up is Jeremy. Jeremy has DeAndre Swift, Terry McLaurin, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Chase Brown, and Brock Bowers. With the tight end, I don't think he'll go quarterback. I think he'll go receiver. I just don't know which one he likes. Does he like Thomas, Godwin, or Pittman? But he has Terry. Does he just take the quarterback? I don't think Tom would take a quarterback because he's already had a keeper and a tight end he's already got. So you got to think Tom is probably thinking positional players over quarterback. So I think Jeremy could wait here and probably be safe. Question then is, what does he like in this running back? Does he like Jaylen Warren? Everybody else seems to. And then they're kind of a drop off to Hubbard, Stevenson, Pollard. Yeah, I'm going to give him the stack. Have fun with it. Why not? I'm going to give him Jaden Daniels. To me, it's kind of the end of the quarterback drop from there. Plus, it gives him that ability to stack, gives him some top players in each category, and then we'll see how it plays out. Next up would have been me, but I am keeping Emeka Ibuka, which means we on our last pick of the night to Tom. As a reminder, Tom had drafted A.J. Brown, Amarian Hampton, kept Zay Flowers, and Tyler Warren. So he has 2 receivers, a running back, and a tight end. 2 receivers, a running back, and a tight end. So I think Tom's got to go at least one of each. I mean, AJ Brown and Flowers is huge. Warren is pretty good. Amarian should be tops. I'm going to give him a receiver. I mean, you can take him in the next round. Nah. I don't think he's going quarterback. I don't know if he likes Thomas Jr. or Godwin Jr. or Pittman Jr. I'm going to give him... son of a bitch. I don't know. I think one of these two picks at least has to be a running back. And I just don't know what he's thinking. He could easily just do it and just drop in RJ Harvey and hope. But I think that's a big risk. Stevenson and Pollard are risky picks either way. And then I think it's huge drop-offs to the next group of guys there. I will give him Brian Thomas Jr. Why not? Oh, cancel. Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks to you who made it to the end. On your screen, I'll flash the previous round. So again, thank you for staying to the end. I have fun doing the 5 rounds over the short ones. It kind of gives me a better lay of the land this way. So as always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I appreciate anybody who actually watches the whole video. Have a great day. Enjoy your summer, and we'll talk soon. Bye, everybody.